How's it going, guys? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting and welcome back to Muv-Luv Monday and welcome to the day after. Oh boy, first episode really grabbed my attention. There's a lot of really interesting stuff that's been going on. They did the super big detonation, you know, effectively try and cleanse the world of beta, and it sounds like they at least think they succeeded. It sounds like they've got good reason to believe it, but whatever they did apparently is like shutting down communications. Like they don't really know what's going on. They're just kind of like trying to gather information at this point, which made me wonder, why haven't they gone back to like a base or something, right? Like, are all the bases gone, or like they just like unable to travel for some reason? Like can the boat just not move anymore? Well, hopefully gonna find out some more answers today. But I also wanted to say real quick before we get started, next week might have a bit of a delay in the video coming out. Might even skip it. I don't think I will. I'm planning on like taking steps to make that not happen. But I'm going to be going this weekend to Anime NYC. And I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun to be able to go stuff. And I wanted to say specifically, there is a panel I'm going to be going to. On Saturday night, there's going to be a panel hosted by Manga Gamer, and they're going to be talking about the future of visual novels, even hinting at some of the new titles that are going to be localized and stuff. It's going to be a lot of interesting, fun stuff to like kind of take a peek at. So, you know, obviously it's on theme. Maybe I'll be able to talk a little bit about it if there's anything really, really interesting that happens in particular at the panel. More or less, like, that's going to be a great place. If anyone happens to be going there and you've been watching this in 2021, you know, before you miss it, be a great place to catch up with people there. So hopefully I'll be able to see you there. And if not, hopefully I'll be able to share something interesting from the experience. But let's get like right back into the game, because we got a lot of stuff to learn about. We got our new characters, we got our new situations, and we got to just figure out like what's the state of the world, because I'm dying to know. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so we're taking the new girl into our TSF. We're gonna fly her back for medical treatment and to try and get her, well, we got a bit of her story. I think we still want to learn more details about her, but I think she needs to learn more about what's actually happening. Lilia. She has to sit in front of me, or she can't use the harness. Yeah, I'm sure no one's quite excited about this. Transferring pilot data. Alright, very good. Crap, I have no idea what Big Mama's thinking. I know she loves teasing me, but something tells me this isn't the right time to stock up on fresh material. Just being awkward, that's all. No worries. Huh? What? What did I do? Ah, yeah, she's right. Okay, let's try not to get lost in my thoughts again. She's looking somewhat pale. I guess that's to be expected after 5 days out at sea. It's all more the reason to focus on the task at hand. I know the commander wants to get a rise out of me, but I have to keep my cool now. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, sure, she's beautiful, and you're a guy, and naturally you're gonna have feelings, but like, I also think like, context is important. I think Will's kind of got this understanding of that, where it's just like, okay, look, it's like one thing to be a little flustered, but like, she needs medical help. Like, I don't have time to be flustered. So he's trying to like, be reasonable here. Very good. Well, don't take it like that! She's not sitting down. What's the matter? Great, so she's awkward too. That's making it worse! And why is she angry now? Did I say something to piss her off? Oh, are you serious? Like, he wasn't calling you fat. He was simply saying, don't feel like you have to hold yourself up. Oh, so that's what's bothering her. Well, come on! You saw what she's talking about, but don't worry. You idiot. It's kind of into her. She must be more exhausted than I thought. No, Will, you're just... Well, he's an MC of a visual novel in the Muv-Luv universe. He's got to be as dense as a brick. Well, whatever. Better make this quick. Crap, I've seen this before. She's gonna tell me I have 40 seconds to get it done. If I don't, she'll completely lose her crap.
内部室より内部スワン。ハーネス固定完了しました。これより予備コネクタ接続します。
See, like, okay, there it is. Okay, this obviously is not comfortable. Like, it's interesting, but it's like it's just it's necessary. But there's no way this is comfortable.
内部室40秒で支度しな。
Right, Yeonju.
了解。
Called it. Let's see. A cable needed for the spare connector should be somewhere around here. Oh, here we go.
ごめん。ちょっとケーブルつなげよう。
What did I do now?
ごめん。どこかにいたんだ。
そうじゃなくて、もう少し早く言いなさいよ。
A little warning. I told her I was plugging it in, didn't I? Oh well. I do see a lot of me and you. Is it just me, or has she been acting kind of weird since she boarded my TSF?
どう？電源いってるはずなんだけど。
大丈夫。映像も来てるわ。
オーケー。これで保温機能も戻るはずだし、楽になると思うよ。
そうね。
Good. That's a load off my shoulders. Thank goodness Lilia was wearing a fortified suit when we found her. We're going to advance by horizontal boost jumps, so the cockpit will shake a lot. It's not a big deal if you're wearing a fortified suit, but I don't see how she could endure the strictly casual wear.
内部室より内部スワン。シェルベル少尉の強化装備接続完了しました。いつでも出られます。
内部スワン了解。ギリギリ39秒ってとこだね。さて、お家に向かって出発するよ。
Let's get some answers. Crisis barely averted. Good job, me. Oh, just don't think about it, Will. Don't think about it. It's okay. She's so close. Lieutenant Gilbert is so close.
内部室、副将はどうした？何かあったのか？
内部室了解。無線が不明瞭でした。
Sure.
ほう、便利な無線だな、ウィルボ。
Dang it.
全くもって無線は便利であります。
Lieutenant Kjellberg in front of the commander, in front and the commander at my back. Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place. What the heck's wrong with me? I'll be the first to admit I'm not exactly a Casanova, but I've been around plenty of women. It's never been an awkward before. So what's going on? Is it because of the situation?
いいか、ウィル。お嬢ちゃんの体が弱ってるのは間違いない。丁寧に飛べよ。それこそ女の体を。
Shut.
内部室了解。発進しましょうか、隊
It's
長。
like, be quiet. What in blazes is she thinking? Can't she just give me instructions like a normal person for once? I'll take back what I said. I'm not the one at fault here. No, it's the commander. She can't give the gosh darn innuendo a rest. It's making this whole thing extremely hard to bear. Jeez. We found this girl drifting in the middle of the ocean literally minutes ago. If there's ever a time to show restraint, this is it.
ウィルボ、楽しいフライトになりそうだな。
Oh boy. Here we are, we're just cruising, flying through the air. Nothing wrong here, nothing crazy. Well, this is awkward. Maybe I should take the initiative and try to make some conversation, but I have no idea what to say. Blonde hair, huh? It's like talking about the weather. And she has such a narrow face. What? Yeah, I even think I interrupted her on accident. She ignoring me? Oh, she's probably talking about the scenery because all the salt. Huh?
一面真っ白じゃない。不思議な眺め。
そうだな。
Man, the TSF is so loud. Yeah, slipped my mind for a second. She was adrift in the ocean. She must be clueless about the state of the land. Well, so are we. Well, we know what it is, but like...
潮の砂漠みたいなもんだから
That would... How can... Like, life is gonna really struggle with that.
潮？
なあ、この辺りはもともと海底だったんだよ。
Okay, used to be a seabed. So it evaporated? Like, why? Why would it all evaporate? Like, where did it all go?
カメラ拡大できるか？
接続は問題ない。見えてる。
そっか。この辺りはジョンストン干渉につながる場所で。
Johnston Atoll. What's that? I should know that, I think.
南太平洋。座標で言うとオーストラリアとハワイの中間くらいだ。
Really? Oh my gosh, it just made sense. Of course the aircraft carrier isn't moving. They're stuck in a bed of just anti-land. Like, they're in the land. They're like probably floating in like a little puddle like that right there. Like, oh my gosh. Well, that's a bit of a problem.
残ってた海水が干上がって潮が浮いているんだ。
Wow.
干上がって。
Yeah.
JFK の周りもひどいもんだぜ。散々潮かきしたから前ほど喉はやられなくなったけどさ。
Right, you're being preserved. Man, the days were awful. You wouldn't want to be caught dead out on the deck when that wind was blowing in our direction.
まあ、おかげで潮には困らない。おまけに潮の塊を掘り返せば塩漬けの魚が出てくることもあるんだぜ。
I mean, I guess there's one way to look at the bright side.
釣り上げる前に調理されてるなんて笑えるだろ。
Well, that's really not good though. How did this happen?
そうね。
Tough crowd.
何が起きたのかしら。
To be honest, no one really knows for sure. The area used to be a seabed and it was supposed to be about 16,000 feet below sea level. Fetch. Take a look at the barometric altimeter readings now, however, and you'll see we're currently flying at ground level. Wait, I actually don't know if I'm allowed to tell her anything right now.
詳しくは祈祷してから説明があるよ。
I guess that is military protocol to, like, be careful about stuff. But I mean, come on. Like, of course everyone, we're gonna tell her. He who turns and runs away lives to fight another day. We're both Marines here. I'm sure she'll understand when I put it that way. But man, this is getting even more awkward.
あ、そうだ。食料も水も母艦に帰ればいくらでもあるぜ。
Right, okay.
真水で風呂も入りたい放題さ。シャワーもある。なんせ原子力母艦だからね。
That's a nice thing. Nuclear power is really good about longevity and not needing to refuel for a while, so that is a plus.
疲れも取れるし、汚れも匂いも落とせる。
Oh gosh.
船に着いたら速攻で案内するよ。
Well, I know you're trying to be nice here, but you just told her that she stinks. How? It's like he's trying to piss her off.
な、楽しみだろ。
ごめんなさい。やっぱり疲れてるみたい。少し静かにしてもらえるかしら。
Right. Well, why do I feel like I keep pushing her buttons by pure accident? Guess it's just me. I mean, she was drifting all by herself. It's bound to be tiring from going from dead silence to being stuck with a guy that never shuts up.
すまない。少しはしゃぎすぎた。
そういう意味じゃないの。寝不足だったから。ちょっと。
Right.
眠ってる間にボートが転覆するかもしれないとか。いろいろ考えちゃって。
I bet. Happy music plays in the background. Everything's fine. Whoops. Of course, it's not like anyone can get enough sleep when your life's in imminent danger. That must be why she's barely answering. God, I'm so terrible at this. Or what?
寝てていいんだぜ。母艦まで一直線だから穏やかなもんさ。
ありがとう。でも眠れそうにないのよ。
安心しなよ。墜落するほどヘボじゃないさ。
そうじゃなくて疲れてはいるんだけど気が高ぶってるみたいなの。
Yeah, I mean, I probably would be the same. If I did sleep, though, it would be the kind of sleep that sneaks up on you. The one where you're, like, sitting there, you're, like, just minding your own business, and suddenly, like, you go, like, wake up, and it's, like, been hours.
頭の芯が重くてとても眠れそうにない。
Oh, yeah, that can't be good for you. Her accumulated stress isn't simply going to vanish into thin air. I mean, she's been alone in the middle of the ocean for 5 days, right? During that time, she kept trying to contact someone to no avail. All the while watching the little supply she had to dwindle, calculating how much she would need to survive the coming days. It's like being a prisoner in death row and not knowing when your execution day was coming. Me? I would go insane. And yet, even in such desperate situations, she didn't give up. I'm starting to think this girl's tougher than nails.
何にせよ、リリアが生きていてよかったよ。お互いひどいものを乗り越えた。ムロ。
そうかしら。
そうだよ。生きていてよかったよ。
Aw, see, there you go, there you go.
生き残れて。
ああ、きっと母艦でも大歓迎さ。
そうね。誰かが生き残れば。
Yeah.
そうだ。
ナイブス1よりナイブス2、そろそろ見えてくるぞ。ビル、お嬢ちゃんにしっかりと見せてやんな。
Yeah, I want to see it too. Oh, so we've covered that much distance already.
ナイブス了解。リリア、前方1時の方向だ。
1時。
HEG. Hey, look, there's some water. See that? And they got a few other boats too. That's good. Very good.
あれが。
A symbol of America's sheer military power and the cornerstone supporting humanity's hope to bring hopes back when we took a stand against the beta. Nowadays, in the dead world where only salt and seawater remain, is this only safe haven we have left.
あれが俺たちのホームだ。
Yeah. An Enterprise-class TSF carrier, the CVN-67 John F. Kennedy, or JFK for short. I've never seen an aircraft carrier in real life. I really want to, though. They're pretty incredible machines. And I swear, the music feels Top Gun-y, which would be just perfect. Thanks to the carrier, we're still alive. If we were on our own, we'd be long dead.
ホーム。
ナイブスリードよりケネディコントロール、管制区域に入った。両機着艦許可求む。
ケネディコントロール了解。着艦順序を確認する。と、君らが一番だな。
Yeah.
ナイブス1了解。そいつはありがたいね。
Alright, I think I have a better understanding now of like why they haven't gone back to a base, because I was like, the base is like, the land mass is effectively completely changed. And so, like, where they would have access to a base now, like, they have to deal with whatever the changes of the landscape, like, will entail. Like, they could be, they effectively, the shore could be miles away from a former base. So, yeah, I get it. So I wonder why they're mapping here. Maybe they got close to a base that they think they can get, and now they're trying to like figure out a way to get closer. Sure, it's an SOP to ask permission to land, but who even cares in this day and age? What are they gonna do anyway? Shoot us down? It's not like there are any other TSF or aircraft out there. And again, hearing an air traffic controller's voice still puts me at ease. I guess I'll have it die hard. Actually, no, there's another reason why. What if someone's on deck and you try and land? You could just squash them without meaning to. So yes, you need to ask for permission to make sure that every personnel are, you know, safe.
コントロール、パッケージはナイブス2だ。先に着艦させる。
Oh, I'm first? Well, I guess that makes sense.
了解した。ナイブス2から誘導する。ナイブス2、最終進入コースに入れ。
ナイブス了解。リリア、着艦態勢に入るよ。
She'll be safe with the harness on, but I figure I should let her know regardless.
Lilia.
Would you look at that? She did fall asleep. As soon as she saw the carrier, and she was like, it's home, and then she immediately was like, boom, because her brain probably was like, we're gonna be okay. Finally, it was just like, it finally let go, and it's just like, conk. She's sleeping like a baby. All the accumulated stress must have drained away the moment she saw the ship. Okay then. I feel terrible waking her up now. Guess I should listen to the commander. Smooth and gentle does the trick.
Welcome home.
Home sweet home. Yeah. In a world of salt, I'd be super happy to be back home too. 92nd, 93rd. So it's been a couple days. Section M4, was it? Should be the right place. Wish I could know for sure, though. I've only been in this medical bay once or twice before. I have no idea where M4 is supposed to be.
失礼します。ウィルバート・コリンズ少尉、シェルベリ少尉を迎えに上がりました。
ああ、話は聞いているわ。彼女なら第二両翼区よ。そこをまっすぐ行って右ね。
Alright, thank you.
了解です。ありがとうございます。
Yokai desu. Arigatou gozaimasu. Yeah. She's been sleeping for over a day now. That's enough time to recover, I guess. Even if she hasn't, she'll have to deal with it. It's times like these the Marine's physical conditioning comes into play. Come to think of it, there are fewer people hospitalized here than before. Well, it's only illogical. Once someone recovers, they're out of the flash. Besides, it's not like we're getting that many new faces on the ship stuck in the middle of nowhere. And then there's the poor souls who never recovered. Recover from what? She said, alright. Oh boy. Are we about to have another cliche? Let's see. The second medical ward should be on the other side of this door. Knock, you idiot. Yeah, you idiot. Why didn't you knock?
ちょっと待ってね。
失礼しました。
Can't be blamed for this. It was an accident. Completely innocent, Chief. We're supposed to freaking curtains. That's what they're here for.
お待たせしました。
Whoa.
まずは艦長がお会いになるとのことで、自分が案内を命じられています。
So she's like, so she's like, sorry for the wait. Like, just typical, like, sorry to make you wait. You know, very just like it's one of those things that like doesn't actually need an answer, but his default is to be like, I like standing around. God, this guy's me.
ありがとう。っていうか、同じマリーンで少尉同士でしょ。もう少し気楽に行きましょう。
Yep, sure.
了解です。
She's acting as if nothing happened. Should be glad, but instead I'm dying inside.
あ、もしかしてさっきの気にしてる？おかん好きは文化が違うのかしら。
Right. She doesn't care about that? Like, at all? Wait, I get it now.
もしかして正規母艦は初めてですか？
Oh, everyone gets to have, like, private quarters.
そうね。ずっと地上基地と揚陸艦ばかりだったから。
Bingo. Sometimes I hate being right.
なるほど。いや、長期航海が多い正規母艦は前線より男女の区分けが多少きっちりしてるんですよ。
So they actually have division.
へえ。
Yeah, she has no idea how things are supposed to work around here. Men and women on the front lines have no choice but to share the same facilities for sleep and personal hygiene, so people running into each other while changing is pretty much part of everyday life. But it's not like that on the Seven Seas.
その、なんて言うんですか。男女の揉め事が起きても逃げ場がないわけですよ。長期間の養生だと。
Right. I mean, there's a logic to that.
陸上ならいくらでも隔離したり、配置転換したりできますけどね。だから未然に防ぐための必要措置ってやつです。
Right.
なるほどね。まあ、おいおい慣れることにするわ。
Please do, as fast as you can. Don't make things harder on me than they need to be.
で、さっきも言ったけど、その敬語はやめない？マリーン同士なのに他人行儀すぎて気持ち悪いわ。
I'm sorry, ma'am. I mean...
いや、これは
Things wouldn't be so awkward if I didn't see you half naked. Come on, Will. I mean, I get that he's, like, feeling uncomfortable, but at the same time, it's just a person. Like, get over your shock. Accept the fact that she's a woman and she's, like, great. But the thing is, she's just here. And you're here, and you move on.
だいたい、こないだは名前で呼んでたじゃん。
Aww.
ごめん、聞こえなかったんだけど。
マリーン同士なのに他人行儀すぎて気持ち悪いって言っただけ。
Now she's mad. God, help me. Women are sure complicated. I better keep this from Mel, the commanders, or they'll bust my balls like there's no tomorrow.
ああ、そうだよな。じゃあここで一回リセットさせてもらうってことで。
そうね。じゃあ最初からやり直し。
She is pretty adorable. Dang, look at that smile. She's so cute. I'm having a hard time believing she's a fellow leatherneck.
改めて、俺はウィルバート・コリンズ少尉。ウィルでいいよ。
Yeah.
リリア・シェルベリ少尉。私もリリアでいいわ。それから。
Oh, is there more?
こちらこそ改めてありがとう。 月並みな言い方だけど、あなたとマクマナス中尉は命の恩人だわ。
It's not cliche at all.
なんだそんなこと。
そんなことじゃないわよ。
Let her thank you.
正直ね、もう助からないと思ってたわ。何にもない海、何にもない陸地。そもそも輸送艦にいた時からね、無線はつながらない、陸地は見えない、物資を食いつぶしていくだけの毎日で。
Shit, I bet that was horrible.
US マリーンは最後まで諦めるなって励まし合ってたけど、それが急に一人になって、あんな状況できっと心の方が先に持たなかったと思う。
She's lucky that she did keep her head. I'm not surprised.
わかるよ。でかい船にいた俺たちですら似たようなもんだった。
Though compared to what Lilia had to suffer, we've had it much better. We've got land close by, plenty of supplies, and TSF to explore and defend ourselves if something happens. Most importantly, we can turn seawater into fresh water thanks to the nuclear reactor. That gives us plenty of leeway. But even with all the resources at our disposal, the tension aboard the GFK can grow unbearable at times. Imagine this was a simple supply ship. It'd be 100 times worse.
ならわかるでしょ。
Yeah.
ありがとう。
Aww.
任務でしたから。
Hey. She said don't do that.
ちょっとまた敬語？
Give me a break. I'm trying my best here, you know? I was wondering around about this yesterday, but why am I so awkward around her? Something has to be wrong with me. No, I'm not the problem here. It's all the commander and her childish behavior. Deflection.
ところで体調はもう大丈夫なのか。
そうね、さすがに昨日の夜まではほとんど意識はなかったけど、動かないベッドは最高ね。よく眠れたわ。ビルご自慢のお風呂にも入れたし。
She's not gonna let him live that down.
そりゃよかったな。
でも本当動かないのね。
何が？
いくら停泊してるって言っても船の上でしょ。さすが大型正規母艦ってことなのかもしれないけど、湯船まで全然揺れないなんて。
That's because it's a carrier. Carriers are so big, like most waves don't actually like bother it. You have to be in some serious turbulent waters to really feel it. Yeah, I can see why that might seem strange. It would be weird to not pick up on that.
もちろん母艦の安定性はもともと抜群だけど。
Oh, I just realized something. So, okay, he might be talking about this just now, but it just occurred to me for some reason, which is interesting because. So look at all the salt, right? Remnants of the ocean that's like evaporated. So the remaining water's salt content must be incredibly high, like Dead Sea levels, if not higher. If that's the case, then the buoyancy of the water would actually be much higher than is normally expected. So they also might have a trouble here because they might not be able to move. They might technically be beached. And that might be a good thing because if they were out any deeper, the boat might not be able to maintain it might be so buoyant it might be liable to tip. I don't know if that's possible with a ship that big, but at this point we're all in speculation land, but that could be at least a factor. So let's see what he says here.
多分この後説明があるけど、
Right.
JFK は座礁してるんだよ。浅瀬だし、苦労して水平取ったから見た目には気づかなかっただろうけど。
So they are run aground.
見た目って私はまだ着艦前にぼんやり見えただけよ。
That's gonna be a problem.
でも
そういやそうか。まあ仲間内じゃケネディホテルとか呼ばれてるよ。
Huh? Why is she making that face now?
こんなに大きくても本当に遭難中なんだ。
Yeah.
変なこと言っちゃったわね。気にしないで。
お。
She's still dealing with stress. I need to choose my words very carefully. I know I'm not exactly the most tactful guy in the world, but that's no excuse.
ちょっと急がないとまずいな。階段急だから気をつけて。
The commander's gonna be on my case if we're late, I'm sure. Took you long enough to figure out where to jam it, Willy boy? I can practically hear the darn woman in my head.
大丈夫。その辺はさすがに揚陸艦と一緒よ。
Right.
そういやそうか。じゃあ遠慮なく海軍流の早足で。
了解。
Off we go. Okay.
アテンションオンデック。
海兵隊第536戦術歩行戦闘機隊リリア・シェルベリ少尉であります。
楽にしたまえ。本艦の艦長を務めるジョージ・オールストン准将である。
Commodore. That's such a good position. Like a
現在
name.
ジョン・ F ・ケネディ母艦打撃軍司令並びにこのケネディ海軍駐留拠点司令を兼任しているリリア・シェルベリ少尉。
は。
まずは機関の生還に敬意を表す。あの大災害大解放をよくぞ生き延びた。
The Great Ocean Collapse.
機関が今この場所にいること、その事実こそがブルーオーシャン作戦における機関の勇敢を示すものに。
Can I please know what these things are? The Great Ocean Collapse, Operation Blue Ocean. What are these things?
は。ありがとうございます。
Those are no empty words. In this day and age, surviving is enough to make you a hero. That's how catastrophic the Great Ocean Collapse was.
追って説明するが、現在我々は未だ本国との連絡に成功していない。すなわちブルーオーシャン作戦は今なお継続中ということである。
Right.
この状況下にあって我々は多くの欠員を出しており、一人でも多くの人員を欲している。よって本国からの指揮系統が回復するまでの間、リリア・シェルベリ少尉を本艦海兵隊に編入する。
This is exactly what you should do.
この編入に対し異議がある場合、現状況終了後に文書で提出するよう何か問題はあるかね。
Yes. When you need to make sure that if they want to complain, they don't complain. They like you can keep them in line. Is you just simply tell them that it will be bureaucrated away.
は。ありません。
合衆国正規戦術規模艦ジョン・ F ・ケネディへようこそ。リリア・シェルベリ系乗組員一同
I clicked too early. I'm
貴様を
sorry.
歓迎する。
Curses. My hand's a curse. I get excited and I click too soon.
は。リリア・シェルベリ少尉ただいまをもって着任いたします。
さて詳細は後ほどマクマナス中尉から説明があるが、本艦と同盟各国の艦船乗員が置かれている状況に触れておく。
And can we learn more about these operations, please?
シェルベリ少尉は第26海兵戦術機構軍だったな。確か在フィリピンの部隊と記憶しているが。
はい、その通りです。
ならば第3次作戦用の上陸部隊で間違いはないな。
Okay.
は。
よろしい。ならばバビロン作戦について特に説明の必要はないものとして進め。
Oh, come on, please! I want to know!
本艦 CVN67 ジョン・ F ・ケネディは両艦のニミッツとともに母艦打撃軍を編成し、鉄原配部攻略部隊として日本海に展開していた。
Right, sure one Hive. Yeah, and we gotta remember in this timeline, the unlimited timeline, Hive 21 still remained. The Tier 1 Hive is the one in Korea. So I wonder if they'd already taken Hive 21 at this point. Huh, interesting.
ブルーオーシャン作戦発動後、国連軍横浜基地に寄港して物資と人員を積載。
Wait a minute. So they docked and took on personnel at Yokohama base. Interesting. I wonder if we're actually going to see some familiar faces on this ship.
フリゲート艦バンデグリフトとハワイを目指したが、ウェーク島北北東で大解放に伴う超規模津波に遭遇。直営艦を失った。
Okay. So a mega tsunami, a byproduct of the Great Ocean Collapse, to the northeast of Wake Island. Okay, so maybe... Oh, okay, here's another potential scenario. The fact that there's so much salt around still makes me think that something more evaporatory happened, but what if when they dropped the G-bombs on like the Asian continent, what if it literally blew like a super massive series of craters and like ruptured the wall along the coastline and effectively made a new inland sea, but the size of an ocean on the Asian continent. So the ocean just rushed in and that was part of what happened. I don't know that. That still doesn't make sense.
人員装備の被害状況のほとんどはこのブルーオーシャン作戦の大津波の際に生じた。
No, never mind. That's a super tsunami there. Holy moly.
本日時点での本艦乗員数は2192名。これは作業可能な軽傷者を含む。
Okay.
死傷者は約1000名近い。特にアイランドと格納庫内で作業を行っていた兵員に被害が集中している。
Lilia's in shock. I guess it's only natural for someone who's never served on board a ship like this before. A TSF carrier needs a massive crew to operate. The numbers of dead and severely wounded people when a disaster like this strikes is several orders of magnitude higher than what a regular-sized ship would suffer. Not like anyone could get used to hearing this. I feel my stomach turning when the captain started the list of casualty figures.
アイランドの被害は大津波による艦の動揺が原因である。
Gotcha. Wake Island, so they say they took damage. I think they used to be like flotillas, if I'm right, like artificial, like floating like clumps that kind of would operate as like artificial staging platforms.
さらに格納庫内においては想定以上の動揺で係留を外れた機体が格納庫内を数度にわたって激突。
Oh gosh, that would suck to be in there. Like not TSF, like in the hangar.
その際、多数の兵員が巻き込まれ。またシャッターの損傷後、艦内に侵入した海水によって艦外にさらわれたものも少なくない。後ほど触れるが、現在集結している友軍の状況も似たようなものだ。
Right. That's really bad.
以後、数度の大津波と海図データの急激な変化によって艦の位置を喪失。急速な潮位の変動に対応しきれず、この地に座礁してしまった。現在我々は太平洋中央部、ハワイの南西約2200キロの位置に座礁している。
Okay, so we were drifted that far off course. We were drifted that far by the tsunami. Holy crap. And it came from the north. So what was that thing? Like, where did all that water come from? It's almost more like a meteor struck the planet than anything else. But there would be a lot of other problems going on than just a giant mega tsunami. Something else happened.
以来2ヶ月、艦の復旧作業を試みたが、いずれも失敗。
Crap.
ブルーオーシャン作戦発動時より発生していた長距離通信障害も回復しておらず、現在我々は孤立した状況にある。ここまでのところは、機関が遭遇した事態の推移と大きな差異はないものと思う。
は、ございません。
We're assuming the Great Ocean collapse happened simultaneously and unfolded in pretty much the same way in all four corners of the Earth. That's why we believe Lilia should be familiar with the story. A ship's a ship, no matter if it's big or small. They were likely hit by the mega tsunami in a bout of nice weather. In that bout of nice weather. Okay. That explains why, like, the ship suddenly, like, went down without warning. Like, maybe, because, like, she made it sound like it happened at night, so that maybe the mega tsunami hit them, and they just had no clue it was coming.
我々はこの地をケネディネイバルベースと命名。現在生き残った艦載機を中心に哨戒を行い、同様に漂流を続ける友軍の救難、集結に着手している。
Gotcha.
現時点において、合衆国海軍艦船3隻が当拠点への集結に成功。かかる状況に鑑み、我が母艦打撃軍の指揮下に編入している。
Okay.
加えて、オーストラリア海軍駆逐艦 HMAS シドニーを発見。
Alright.
シドニー側指揮官と協議の結果、一時的に多国籍軍を編成。彼らもまた我々の指揮下に入ることになった。
I mean, it makes the most sense. Like, at this point, like, you just need to be banding together. You need all the help we can get.
これはすなわち、現在オーストラリア軍司令部および本国もまた消息が不明ということでもある。
Essentially, we are the government.
また本国および国連司令部との連絡回復を目的とし、4艦の中でも最も損害が少なく、最新鋭艦でもあるズムウォルト級駆逐艦、
Okay.
キングを連絡艦に任命。
So did they send the destroyer already?
他艦に残存する燃料を集約し、先月15日、
Okay.
ブルーオーシャン作戦における集結予定地であるハワイ方面へと送り出した。以後、未だキングからの連絡はない。
Great.
他の艦については乗員装備の損耗が激しいため、艦の維持に必要な最低限の人員を除き、海岸沿いに設置した臨時キャンプに移動。
Yeah, that makes sense.
一部人員については当母艦にも収容、現在に至るというわけだ。
So the JFK is probably not going anywhere unless we actually get resupplied. Like we even like being beached being aground is the best because the ship, despite having a nuclear reactor, isn't going to really be able to do much.
我々を取り巻く状況は非常に厳しい。ベータの脅威こそ去ったものの、核も変容した世界に我々は孤立している。
Oh yeah.
だが、あの激変を生き延びた戦友は必ずや世界各地でその力を蓄えているだろう。
Right.
来るべき戦友たちとの開口に備え、分散した戦力の集約を任務とし、この日々を生き抜くことこそが我々に課せられた新たな戦いである。リリア・シェルベリ少尉、機関の優先に期待する。
I mean, how could you not?
は
以上だ。ではマグマナス中尉、後を頼む。
は了解いたしました。敬礼。
Oh my gosh.
さてと、改めてリリア・シェルベリ少尉。
Okay, we have some answers now. Holy freaking fetch. Jeez. Like, I still want to know what the heck all these operations were. Like, what did they do? But at least we have a grasp of the situation. It's not good.
はブラックナイブスへようこそ。ま、正確には私らは文献隊だけどね。
Oh well.
それに、さっきは JFK 乗組員一同なんて言っちまったけどさ。
Oh.
私らはもともと JFK の所属でもないんだよ。
さようでありますか。
よしとくれ。堅苦しいのはなしだよ。規律は大切だがね。タイの中は家族みたいなもんさ。
Well, we have to be.
違うかい？
We have to be. Big Mama's doing her Big Mama thing again. I don't exactly love formalities myself, but there's a bigger problem at hand.
了解。それがマクマナス中尉の方針でしたら。
Good.
あんまり体調のペースに飲まれないでくれよ。
Hey, hey, come on, Will. Be more optimistic.
ウィルバート・コリンズ少尉、何か意見が？
ノーマム、一切ありません。
よろしい。じゃ、本題に戻らせてもらうよ。
Yes.
そんなわけで、私らは正確には第三海兵衛星軍からの文献隊だ。バビロンの時は横須賀に居残りでね。あんたと同じ第三次作戦用の上陸部隊になるはずだった。
Oh, that's interesting.
で、ブルーオーシャン発動時に文献隊が編成され、横浜から JFK にお邪魔したってわけさ。
Okay, okay.
つまり、一応建前として重要なのはここだよ。私らは本来母艦好きのマリーンじゃないのさ。お客さんブルーオーシャンでもネイビーとは別個の任務を帯びての乗船だった。
Okay. Here we go. The commander just dropped the truth bomb out of nowhere. Well, we're stuck working with the Navy guys for the foreseeable future. Lilia needs to know exactly where we stand.
別個のですか。
ま、そこは文献体内でも need to know ってやつだったよ。
Well, that's not ominous at all.
この文献隊、私ら戦術機1個小隊、第三海兵連隊からの歩兵1個小隊で構成されてるんだけど、
Okay.
私ら戦術機側には警護任務としか明かされてないし、直接的な任務は歩兵小隊の援護って話さ。
Okay.
こんな
Wait.
状況じゃ援護もクソもないからね。
So they were stationed at Yokohama base. They're escorting something. I see. I've got some suspicions. Remnants of Alternative 4, perhaps? Sure, need to know and all that, but anyone who knows the significance of Yokohama and has two brain cells rubbed together could figure out what we secured there.
今は海軍さんの戦術機部隊に協力して、この間みたいな探索任務についてるってわけ。あとは回りくどく言ってもしょうがないからね。担当直入に伝えておくと。
Okay. Oh boy.
1個小隊4名。残ってるのは 私とウィルの2人だけだ。
Ugh.
はい。
Sometimes the commander's ability to get straight to the point is a lifesaver, but dang. Right now, the last thing you'd want is to open Lilia's old wounds. Heck, even I know I have trouble dealing with the memories. But since she's standing right there, like it's no big deal, I guess she already knew. Must have been obvious when we were the only people she's seen from our flight.
稼働機体は単座のスーパーホーネットが3機。リリアにも1機専任で乗ってもらうことになるね。
Alright.
了解です。
ちなみに4機目は見事に中破。修理不能と判定されてるよ。大解放でハンガーも随分とシェイクされちまったからね。
So it's scrap.
海軍側の機体も似たような被害状況さ。ま、詳しくは明日以降ハンガーで説明させとくれ。
Right.
はい。
2人じゃただのペアだけどね。3人揃えばそれはチームなんだよ。
Yeah, I think 3 is much better.
だからね、私はあんたが加わってくれて嬉しいのさ。
Aww.
改めてよろしく頼むよ、リリア。
ありがとうございます。こちらこそよろしくお願いします、隊長。
俺からも改めてよろしくな。
もちろん。
We're a team now, huh? The word has a nice ring to it.
さて、ここまでの説明はいいかい？
Yes?
はい、問題ありません。
Come ask questions!
よしよし。リリア少尉はウィルボーと違って素直でいいね。
Of course. I'm a model pilot, I'll have you know.
隊長、召喚は常にあなたの忠実な聞き手であったと認識しておりますが。
He's got a lot of snark to him, though. I love it.
やれやれ。素直の意味を上官に定義させる気かい？
This stupid banter helps put Lilia at ease. I'll do my best to play along.
さあ、次々行こうか。リリアもまだ本調子じゃないだろうからね。
ありがとうございます。
これが素直ってもんだよ、ウィル。
勉強になります。
さて、大筋のところは艦長から説明があったけど、もう少し具体的な話に踏み込んどくよ。
Right, right.
まず、
はい。
最初は JFK の方から行こうかね。
Yeah, let's get going.
艦長からの説明にあった通り、この母艦、ジョン・ F ・ケネディは南太平洋のど真ん中、海岸沿いの浅瀬に座礁してる。
Oh, man.
一見、普通に浮かんでいるように見えるけどね。海底の泥に見事にめり込んじまってる上、一部岩礁が船底を突き破ってるのさ。浸水区画は閉鎖されたまま。
So she's not even really properly seaworthy. Granted, I think they're designed to be able to limp around if they have some flooded compartments, but still, like, not ideal at the slightest.
とはいえ、完全に丘に乗り上げなかったのは幸いだったね。
That's true.
なるほど。戦術規模感はトップヘビーですしね。
Oh, yeah, yeah.
そうだ。ビッグ・ケネディは水と泥に囲まれてるおかげでひっくり返らずにいられたってわけさ。
But the downside is that, like, especially because it is partially submerged, like, as long as it has there are tidal forces of any kind, waves of any kind, like, it will slowly, like, rip the ship apart. Even a big, like, aircraft carrier, or TSF carrier.
わかりました。
We have the captain, the JFK's crew, outstanding seamanship to thank for saving the ship. Everyone was amazing, from the top leadership down to the rookie crew members. Luck was also a factor, of course, but the only reason the crew managed to maneuver the ship into position was that they could predict when the rapidly changing tides would ebb. That's no mean feat.
で、JUSK のハマってる浅瀬はちょっとした湾になっていて、ちょうど湾を出たあたりで水深が深くなっている。
Okay, okay. So there is still a sea out there.
そこに例の集めてきた船が闘病してるんだよ。巡洋艦、駆逐艦、輸送艦と程よく揃ったもんさ。
Well, we had 2 destroyers.
注意。それらの艦名は伺ってもよろしいでしょうか。
ん？ああ、巡洋艦がゲティスバーグ、輸送艦がゴーファーステート、で、オージーの駆逐艦がシドニーだ。
ありがとうございます。
Not what you were hoping for, huh? Wonder what's wrong. Does she have some kind of connection to those names? Well, I guess it's her business if she does.
先月まではもう一隻駆逐艦キングもいたんだけどね。艦長の説明にもあったようにハワイへの連絡任務に出ちまった。
Right.
男前のいい船だったけどね。燃料かき集めたと言ってもハワイまではギリギリ。この状況では決死隊みたいなもんさ。
Or effectively navigating brand new seas. Like, yeah, like there could be no actual sea connection to Hawaii anymore. But I'm hoping that at the very least they could link up with other ships trying to do the same thing.
無事でいてくれりゃいいけどね。
最新鋭で公用性も高いですし、きっと大丈夫ですよ。
The King is a brand new Zumwalt class destroyer, a top-of-the-line warship designed not only to deal with the beta, but also to deal with a view of the post-war situation when they've been defeated once and for all. A Zumwalt class destroyer is about the only kind of ship that has a realistic shot at reaching Hawaii. Well, that and a carrier, but that's that's a non-starter in our case. By the way, my computer decided to chime in there. I'm not sure why, but sorry about that.
ついでに説明しとくと、太平洋を横断して大海堡にも翻弄された各艦の燃料はもともとかなり少なくてね。
Yeah.
そこからさらにキングに寄せたもんだから、今残ってる3隻の燃料はほぼ空っぽ。最低限整備用の発動機を回したり、好天時に備えて若干の駆動ができるだけでね。タンカーでも拾えない限り海に出ることはできないのさ。
God, when the infrastructure goes away, it really shows.
皮肉な話ですよ。無限の航続力を持つこの母艦は座礁してて、浮かんでる船には油がいる。うまくいかないですね。
That is kind of unfortunate. We would have easily reached Hawaii by now if the GFK wasn't stranded. God, there's a terrible sense of humor from the looks of it. On the bright side, the carrier is a nuclear-powered ship. Sure, we're stuck in the middle of nowhere all by ourselves, but we're not going to die without taking a shower. As many as we want, even.
まったくだ。そんなわけでね、他の船の連中はほとんどが丘かこの母艦で生活してる。こっちは原子炉が全て健在だからね。丘にも線を回して電力を供給してるし、その意味じゃ快適なものさ。
Fair, but man, living in salt, like, that's gotta be rough.
はい、早速いろいろ恩恵は受けてます。
ああ、風呂のことかい。そうだね。淡水化プラントは健在。余剰電力のおかげで真水にだけは困らない。プールでも作るかって話があったほどさ。
I mean, I can't argue with that.
メル、オーストラリア人には死ぬほどバカにされました。
I mean, the crew could use some distraction these days. Having a pool to relax in would do wonders for our mental health. That's why I brought it up in the first place. Then I told Mel, big mistake, she hasn't stopped making fun of me ever since.
ま、どんな状況でも快楽。もとい、心身の健康を追求するのが私らのいいとこだよ。さて、それじゃあそろそろもう一つの問題に触れようか。
The passion of the JFK. That seems odd. It's time to move on to problem number 2.
はい。知っての通りの通信障害さ。今の私らの任務にも関わってくる。
Oh yeah, no, it's terrible. Like, that's probably one of the worst. Like, even if we could just know other people are okay, that there are like if we could just have communication, it would solve, like, it may not solve problems, man, it would give us hope. And here comes the reason number 2 for our current predicament. Carrier being stranded was bad enough, but you could say it was an act of God, then shrug it off. Our comms network being down for months, however, there's something more behind that.
ブルーオーシャン発動時から確認されていた長距離通信障害は今も継続中で改善の兆しはない。
What about the satellites? Is there no way of reaching satellites? Because, like, those couldn't have gotten knocked down too easily.
大元の原因や理屈はいろいろ推測されてるけど、直接的な要因と考えられる現象は2つ。
Okay, yes.
広域データリンクを中継してた低軌道衛星網の壊滅。
Oh, fetch. So the satellites were destroyed. By what?
それから短波や中波を反射して水平線の向こうまで通信を届けてくれる電離層の長期異常だ。
Right. Oh, yeah, that's bad, actually. And crap. Yeah, whatever we did with, like, the G-bombs or whatever, that they didn't anticipate the ionosphere being probably delaminated. The ionosphere is a layer of ionically charged particles, and the ionic part and the charge is what allows it to reflect electromagnetic signals. So if something glazed that, like, effectively took that ionization away, you just have, I guess, like, and there's no ionosphere at all then yeah, all our signals would just go straight out to space. But it also could mean that a lot of like excess radiation is also coming into the planet. So they might not realize it, but they also might be having much higher risk of cancer if the ionosphere is gone.
低軌道衛星の落下については、私のいたシアトルでもいくつか確認してました。
そうかい。なら話は早いね。ま、細かい技術的な話は私もできないんだけどさ。
What on earth knocked the satellites out?
とにかく、ブルーオーシャン発動前後から発生し始めたこの2つの現象で、私らの通信手段は大きく制限されることになった。そして、それは今も変わってないってことさ。ん？何か質問が？
So many.
はい。艦長からも本艦位置情報のお話がありましたが、GPS 衛星は健在なのでしょうか？
Good question, and I'd love an answer.
ああ、おかげで座標だけはバッチリ取れる。
So we have some kind of communication. Like, is there another way we could use that?
こっち側で持ってる地形情報はまるっきり役に立たなくなっちまったけどね。戦術機で飛び回る時には重要な後方情報だ。
Right.
シアトルじゃ使ってなかったのかい？
はい。配電系がやられてしまってましたので、航海士が転速で大まかな位置を計測していました。
It's a good skill to have in your back pocket.
やるもんだね。
Well, their engines were dead, so checking their current position was about all they could do, but it's an impressive feat nonetheless. I've heard navigators are still supposed to learn astronavigation these days, but I bet no one expected to be using sextants and celestial charts in the 21st century. And the best thing about it is sextants, you can build one really easily. All you really need is a curve that you can accurately mark with degrees, a line to use as a scope, effectively to pinpoint like your direction, and then a piece of string with a weight on the end. And you get your angle, you have your like the top of the you have your tunnel that you use as your kind of a spy piece, effectively to isolate a specific star, a navigational star like the Northern Star, and then you have your curve that's been marked down with the degrees. Like I don't think you have to go all the 180, but like effectively go from 0 to 180, and then you have a piece of string dangling from I believe the center point of like the arc with a weight, and then you line up your star, and you get your marker, and as long as you can reliably check the same point in the sky at the same time of the 24-hour calendar, so if you just have like an atomic clock or something, you can then pinpoint and you can chart your movement day by day.
では他にそのように今も健在で通信に利用できる衛星はないのでしょうか？
You would think so.
いい質問だ。まずこの3ヶ月、私らの上空を通過した低軌道衛星は一つもない。壊滅的と見ていいだろうね。
Right. LEO satellites, low Earth orbit satellites. So that they zip around. GPS satellites are in geosynchronous orbits, which are much, much further away because they stay relatively the exact same position. I say relatively because often they need to make adjustments, but so something affected low Earth orbit, but not greater orbit paths. And I also have another question, frankly. Here's the thing. Maybe we have cleared the Earth of beta, but the Moon and Mars still have beta hives on them, right? So why wouldn't they launch more hives just to replenish the Earth, Like, isn't this a temporary fix at best? If it even actually worked properly, we have no idea. Maybe all we did was give the beta that could survive, like, catastrophic stuff probably better than humans. Like, they recover, and then now they have a much greater land access than they had before. Like, we might have just screwed the planet even more in, like, not just a cataclysmic, we, like, destroy the environment way. Yeah, this is bad.
一方、話に出た GPS はかなりの高軌道、静止軌道に近い高度の衛星だ。少なくともそのあたりの衛星は生き残ってると見ていいだろう。
Right. It'd be tough. It'd be very, very unlikely to work, but there is one other way of trying to maybe communicate with technology they have. They could try and bounce signals off the moon. It's very difficult to get solid signals that way, but it's consistent and not something that and if the ionosphere is actually gone, it should actually be a lot easier to do. Like it's genuinely a thing you can do. So I would say that would be the next step I would take. But the other question I have too, oh wait, no. I was gonna say, like, don't we have lots of like spaceships and even probably space stations, because like space travel was like the only way you could move like material across the planet. But low Earth orbit stuff, yeah, that would probably be all that too.
だがね、そのあたりの高度な衛星になると、私ら戦術機程度の出力じゃあくまで受信限定だ。
Right.
例えば GPS も向こうから一方的にデータを受け取るだけで機能するからね。こっちからは何も返していない。
They probably wouldn't be able to handle it anyway.
低軌道は高度300キロから1000キロ程度。対するに GPS は高度2万キロ。
Yeah, that's the difference. That's the increment range difference between low Earth orbit and geosynchronous.
静止軌道に至っては高度3万6000キロだ。100倍以上の差がある。戦術機に限らず広域データリンク自体大量の低軌道衛星を使うことで成立してたからね。
Right.
もちろんこの母艦みたいな大型艦船なら本来は静止軌道衛星とも直接双方向でリンクできる。
本来
The salt.
今ここに存在する艦艇の中で静止衛星との双方向通信能力を持つ船は JFK だけだ。
Right.
ところがアイランドの通信装備群が見事にポッキリ一致まってた。
Okay. That sucks. Yeah.
さっき艦長が言ってたアイランドの事故のことさ。
Yeah. Man, we lost so many good people that day. Someone had a bright idea to start with repairs right after we weathered the first wave of the tsunami. Thanks to that stroke of genius, some of our best engineers were swept away to a watery grave.
ということは、じゃあ
We're not doing good.
そもそもこんな南太平洋のど真ん中をカバーしてる静止軌道衛星自体どれだけあるかわからないけどね。何にしても JFK の静止衛星リンクは死んだままさ。本国や他の船団の事情がわからない理由もここにある。
Man, it's like it really is the perfect blend of like good luck and terrible luck for these guys.
いろいろと復帰を試みてるけど、今のところ成功していないのはご承知の通りさ。
And I doubt they have much material to work with, like to try and make like more powerful communication devices.
そういうことだったんですね。
For now.
さて、衛星が頼りにならないとすれば、残るは大気圏内通信なんだけどね。
Hence the ionosphere problems.
そこで電離層以上ですか。
ああ。もともと戦術機に限らず、船でも何でも近場との通信は普通に直接無線でやってたからね。
And without being able to reflect off the ionosphere, you have to have line of sight because you got like communication, radio waves, microwaves, like those that like we use. They are line of sight because it's light. It's like you don't see it as a light beam or anything like that, but it emits like light. So when you don't have ionosphere refractions or retransmitters, which are not something you'd have in the ocean anyway, physical barriers will prevent it. Like even a small hill or mountain. If you ever listen to a radio in your car and you just go over like a decent sized hill, like your radio will go choppy on the other side, might even fade completely. Like it's that simple. Like it just can't travel through stone. So now we're surrounded by mountains of salt and rock that weren't there before. Suddenly, we're not in the middle of the ocean anymore. Two-way radio's ranges have been severely limited compared to what we were used to. And that's the best we got. So effectively, it's like walkie-talkies.
それがブルーオーシャン発動前後から徐々に繋がらなくなり始めた。
やっぱりどこでもそうだったんですね。
Yeah.
本来一定周波数の電波ってのは電離層、つまり大気の上層部で反射されることで水平線を越えて届くものさ。ところが今起きてるのは電離層上乱。 反射されるはずの電波が吸収されちまってる状態らしい。
They're being absorbed, then I was wrong about using the moon as a refractor. That would be as they were phasing through. I was assuming the ionosphere was gone, but if the ionosphere is absorbing it all, then maybe all that happened is it's trying to reabsorb its charge again. And that's gonna take years.
まあ、こんな推測ができるようになったのは、あくまで落ち着いて状況分析を始めてからの話だけどね。
Right.
当時はあんたんとこの船でもパニックだったんじゃないかい？
I mean, of course.
はい、まさにそうです。急に領艦との連絡が取れなくなって、船団が維持できなくなって。
デリンジャー現象って言ってね、短期的には普通に発生し得ることなんだけど、それが今やもう3ヶ月だ。
Yeah, Dellinger effect. It's funny because I actually took some volunteer communication classes for becoming like a ham radio operator. Didn't end up getting the license just because I just don't think I had the time for it. But I took the classes anyway just because I was curious to learn about it. The Dellinger effect is simply these patches where the ionosphere just doesn't work like it should. But they tend to last maybe like a few hours to maybe a day or two. This is definitely like something bigger.
今のところ低軌道衛星が次々落ちた現象も含め原因は不明。低軌道や電離層に何らかの電磁パルスでもばらまかれたのか、G 弾の重力異常の影響がそこまで及んだのか。
Yep. See, EMP, that's why I said the first one, like massive EMP issue, but the G-bombs, yeah, like doing something we don't understand.
いずれにせよ、衛星は死んで、電波通信は水平線の向こうには届かなくなっちまった。
Yeah.
いろいろ例えば、
Oh, sorry,
戦
clicked
術機同士
early.
の高さなら、互いの水平線を挟んで30キロ程度。それが直接通信の限界範囲と思っといた方がいい。
Yeah. That's not much.
正規母艦だろうと、戦術機だろうと、コミュニケーションを絶たれた存在がいかに無力か。そのことを改めて思い知らされてるよ。
Yeah, tell me about it.
そうですね。
Alone, we're powerless. Lilia, who was drifting a supply ship away from the rest of her fleet and then found herself stuck on a lifeboat alone, should know this better than anyone. And she might have to come face to face with the same reality again.
だいぶ長くなっちまったね。
Yeah, tell me about it.
いえ、そんなことは。
病み上がりに無理しないでおくれよ。あんたはええし、明日、いや、今この瞬間からすでに貴重な戦力なんだ。
I mean, she's right.
はい。
今後の任務については、明日、実機での着座調整と合わせて説明するものとする。
Nice.
は、
こいつは私の勘だけどね。ジョーちゃんも結構乗れる口だろ。
She certainly seems that way.
ご期待には添えるものと思います、マム。
Aw. I'll drama one second, I'll chummy the next. How the heck can she change gears that fast?
やっぱりね。だったらなおさら機体を触った方が調子が出てくるってもんだよ。
了解です。ご配慮ありがとうございます。
よーし、こいつは楽しみだね、ウィル。
新戦力には期待しています。
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just witnessed the birth of an unholy alliance between Miss Innuendo and her new follower. My life is going to be a nightmare.
ウィルボーは分かりやすくていいね。
Am I that easy to figure out? Anyway, maybe these two won't get along as well after spending some quality time together. It's too early to assume my life won't just went down the crapper.
さて、今日は以後行動自由とする。と言っても、今日のうちに船の主要施設は案内してもらっといてくれよ。
Hi, hi.
わかりました。ウィル将棋、お願いね。
了解。任すときな。
よしよし。じゃ、あとは若い者同士に任せて。解
Oh,
散。
I forgot. My Japanese teacher said answering with hi hi is actually pretty like super casual and can be really like obstinate. I just do it because like me in real life, I often will repeat things like that. I was like yes, 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 or like good, good. You know, that's what I have like an idiosyncrasy to do. But like if I go to Japan, I'm gonna have to be careful because otherwise I'm gonna sound really insolent. You kids, huh? Commander's really it's a big mama thing. But that's a great place for us to stop, so we're gonna stop there. All right, I've been sated a little bit. I still think there's a lot more we need to learn, but I'm glad we know what we know now. It's time for us to just hope for the best, see how this all plays out, and see if we can find any potential solutions to figure out what the heck's going on. I really want to know what the on Earth, like, so what was the Babylon? Like, what did they do with Babylon? What was this big blue ocean, like, action? Like, obviously, they knew it was going to have something to do to the ocean, but I don't think they anticipated this, so what on earth is going on? I need to know! I also want to know what the cargo is. I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but, like, I still want to know. But yeah, like, it's time for us to kind of figure all this stuff out, and, to move forward and, you know, just make things better in every conceivable way. I'm excited to continue this story. It warms my heart. I still love it so much. I'm anticipating making some changes on the channel, so keep an eye out. I might be doing a poll here on the Discord fairly soon, kind of asking, I've got a few ideas of directions to take, and I'm kind of pitch some of them just to see like what has the most community interest. Just to kind of see, because it's time to start experimenting. I think I'm going to push the channel further. I think I'm going to try and make this a bit more like a full-time thing. And I'm going to try and make it something that's worth investing in, obviously. So I would like to try and make Patreon more appealing as well. So if there's anything that you can think of that you would make it so that you like would find that more interesting to invest in, please let me know. But frankly, I'm just happy anyone's willing to invest in the channel. So thank you so much for those of you who have been contributing to the channel and helping make this dream a more stark reality. But also anyone who's here, if you're watching and listening to this, especially if you've stuck around this long, thank you. I appreciate you spending your time with me. I really can't ask anything more. I'm really grateful for you, so thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and hopefully you'll enjoy future episodes with me. So until the next video watching me, I'll see you next. I'll see you there.